Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Strater Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. How you guys feeling this morning? Well. I got a lot to say, in my opinion. I got a lot to say about the way the team performed. I got a lot to say about the players in regards to their passion for the football club, what their ambitions are for the football club. And I want to pick the bones about that. Before I start, please, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash a like on the video if you could be as kind. Now, when it comes to the game yesterday, you know what? 1-1, first of all, it's not the worst result in the world against Chelsea. But I do believe that Chelsea were there for the taking, guys. I believe Chelsea were there to be put to the sword. I don't think Chelsea were brilliant. I just felt like we didn't give our all. I didn't feel like they played for Ruud van Nistelrooy, a few of those players. It felt almost like they're just fulfilling their contractual obligations, just like that. It didn't feel like they had the DNA to play for Man United. It didn't feel like they wanted to win that game. You know, it's like they run, but they don't run enough. It's like they just put in the minimum amount of effort. You know, the decision-making was comical sometimes, amateur. The finishing, the leadership. I mean, there's no one playing for their own teammates. It's so individualized. And that was summed up when Xerxes came on and he was clean through. And the guy looked like he's 30 stone, the way he was running. I mean, to be honest with you, like, that game was disappointing for me yesterday because I felt that we could have won that game. And if we really went for it, I felt we would have won that game. And then I look at people like Rasmus Højlund and I think to myself, do you know what? That guy's a good player, but he's getting little to zero service. The guy had one touch in the box. No one is passing the ball to him. So then I worry about how's it going to be when Ruben Amorim comes in? How's it going to go? You know, Ruben Amorim doesn't play a three up front, guys. He plays two number 10s. He plays a one up front with two number 10s, guys. And then when you got those two number 10s, who are we going to have those number 10s? Garnacho and Rashford. Garnacho is a great young player, and I'm not going to criticize the young players at Man United. I'm speaking more of those senior pros who've been there for years, who are in their 26, 27 to their 30 years old. Those players are the ones that need to show themselves. I mean, that shot at the end from Bruno Fernandes was absolute amateur. Amateur. I could have shot a better shot than that. It was crazy. You know, anyone who thinks and looks at that game and thinks anything's changed, nothing has changed. We have to face the facts that some of those players do not have the DNA of Manchester United. Roy Keane said it yesterday. Some of those players do not have the DNA that it takes to play for Manchester United. These players have thrown manager after manager under the bus. Manager after manager under the bus. And now we're getting apologies. It doesn't matter. It's too late for that. Your duty is to play for the football club and win bloody football matches. We're at Old Trafford. We're not running. There's no intensity. There's no anger. You know, there's nothing like that. It's just like, get the ball, run the minimum, pass it back, pass it to the side, run the minimum, pass it back. It's nothing like, you know what, I want to get my teammates into the game. I want to win this game. There's nothing going on like that. It's like this, right? Get the ball, pass it straight away. Hoof it up front. Hoof it. Long ball. Space between the players is too large, right? And then we'll end up playing these long balls. Sometimes you don't have to play the ball, Bruno. Sometimes you can keep the ball. Sometimes you can wait until your player gets into the game. Sometimes you can wait until your fullbacks get into the game as well. And then you can start, you know what, creating in a more sufficient, constructive way. At the moment, we're not constructive. We lack effort. We lack the DNA. We're selfish. We don't create. We don't do anything on those lines. And nothing has changed since Erik ten Hag. In fact, nothing has changed in the last near 10 years, guys. So I don't know what anyone is saying, to be honest with you, guys. As I said, it's like we're fulfilling our contractual obligation, and that's it. Nothing else. Nothing. No sprinklers on top. It's mad when you think about it. At a club like Manchester United, and you know what? I have to go on these players this morning. I have to go on these players because that was not a great Chelsea side. That's a side that most Man United fans in my living memory, most Man United teams in my living memory would defeat. It wasn't fantastic. Yes, there were a few fantastic performances. I'm not talking about defensively. I thought Mazraoui was absolutely excellent. Right? I thought De Ligt was excellent. I thought Licha was excellent. Dalot again, poor again, out of position. You know what I mean? This is the problem. Rashford again, poor. You know, ridiculously poor. You know what I mean? You thought he would have performed. It was his birthday the other day. You thought he would have been a little bit happy, a little bit giddy, something like that, but absolutely not. We were obviously mistaken, guys. A lot of those players don't have the DNA to play for Manchester United. And one thing I would worry about is when Ruben Amorim comes in, we're going to play a formation that is going to require a lot of work, a lot of creativity, smart brains as well. You're going to have the 2 10s with the striker up front, plus the 2 midfielders. You know, so how is Garnacho and Rashford going to get into the game and going to adjust their game when they're running into dark alleys and dead ends and etc. etc.? How does that work? How does it work at the end of the day? These players go on the pitch. You know what? It's a bit like this, right? It's a bit like they're going to work and they don't like their job. But you're playing for Manchester United. You're playing for the biggest club in the world. You picked up a football when you were a child just to one day play for this great football club. And they're not showing enough for me. They're running, but they're not running enough. They're not fighting enough. They're not pushing up the pitch. They're not. You know, they're just like, basically, we're playing like an underdog in an FA Cup tie. We sit back, we'll catch them on the break. And then you have to make up 70 yards. I thought we went away from that. I mean, the one who had showed the most passion yesterday night was Ruud van Nistelrooy. The only one who showed an element of passion. Now, I'm not going to blame Garnacho. Garnacho had a poor game. Granted, he had a poor game, but that guy is 19, 20 years old. We can't blame him. But should he be thrown into the deep end? Should he be playing every single game? But who should be playing? You know? All these players there, even in the squad, the whole squad, they're just not giving enough. They're not fighting for the badge. Yeah, we can beat a reserve Leicester team. We can beat Barnsley. We can beat teams like that pretty easily. And I expect us to beat PAOK on Thursday as well. And Leicester next Sunday. I expect us to win those games as well. But it's when we get to these games that are a little bit tricky. We're going to have to be a little bit better. It's when we get unstuck. It's when we become unstuck. And that is the worrying thing for me. You cannot change the leopards on the spot. On the leopard. You cannot change the spots on the leopard. And that is the problem I'm having with Manchester United right now. I'm worried that some of these players are simply not good enough, guys. Some of these players do not know what it is to play for this great football club. And a lot of those players are players that have been here for years. I'm not saying that Bruno doesn't show effort. He does. He shows effort. He does. You know, at the end of the day, he shows a distinct lack of quality sometimes. Distinct lack of quality. Rashford, no effort. Garnacho, kind of effort, but you know what? Runs with his head down. There's many players there who just didn't want to get that team forward and fight for the badge because we could have won that game yesterday. We should have won that game yesterday. But many of those players are just fulfilling a contractual obligation. That is what they're doing right now. That's all they're doing. At the moment, they're not fighting. They're not giving their all. I mean, I personally believe they're not giving their all. I think that they're giving like 60, 70%, some of them, some of them. And that's all it takes, It only takes one person, one bad egg at the end of the day. And I don't think they played well enough. And I don't think it was good enough yesterday. I really don't. I expected a bounce. I expected a bounce. No, 1-1 against Chelsea is not a bad result. Let's look at that. But if we want to climb up that league, we are not going to climb up that league. We are not going to challenge your titles with the likes of Marcus Rashford in the team. We're not. I'm sorry. Look, you've got a player like Rasmus Højlund. You can have Gutierrez. You can have whoever you want up front. He's not going to get any chances to score because we got no one who can create for him. So it doesn't matter who's going to be up front at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you have the best striker in the world up front. They're not going to get the balls. Rasmus had one touch in the box yesterday. One touch in the box. Now, we have to change it. We have to stop bringing in Rashford, stop relying on these players. Garnacho needs a rest. Garnacho's been our best player this season. Let's not get it twisted, right? I'm not criticizing Garnacho. Garnacho's been our best. He's scored the most goals for Man United this season. The most goals. He's been our best attacking midfielder, our best attacking player. He has been our best attacking player, is Garnacho. Let's get some of your comments, guys. Let's go to Lucky Singh. Yep. Alexander Rashanita. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't criticize Garnacho too much. Doing the same things over again. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Brian. How you doing, bruv? Morning, everyone. Ineos thinks Amorim is the guy to take us forward. Have they to allow him to get rid of the players, including bring players in? This is the problem. We're not going to get that, Chow. This is the whole thing. Now, look at this. Oh, it's all Ten Hag's fault. It's not. There's many players in that team that are not good enough, do not have the DNA to play for Man United. And those are the ones that are the most experienced players at a football club. The ones that you should be trusting the most. They're the ones that are not playing to their maximum capacity. I firmly believe that. Matt, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Only Rashford, Bruno, and Dalla are starters from the past. Most of the team. Yeah, and it only takes one or two, Matt. It only takes one or two. Bruno's not good enough. Rashford's not good enough. Let's cross that line right there. Our most important attacking player is not good enough. Why are we not scoring goals? Because our most important attacking player is not good enough. Good morning, Kazi. How you doing? Not so giddy today. Absolutely not. Big up, Uchiji. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, David. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Got to go around the world. I was very disappointed with some of our players. Garnacho wasn't at his best. Onana was very slow to distribute the ball. He was. I have some, obviously. Højlund was crap. Man United. Højlund wasn't crap. He's not getting any balls. I don't know what's wrong with you people. What is wrong with you people? He's not getting any balls. He's not getting any balls. How can he do anything when he doesn't get any bloody service? You know what I mean? You pick one player and you pick Rasmus. What is wrong with you guys? Do you know ball? He doesn't get the ball, guys. How can you blame Rasmus if he doesn't get the ball, Gigi? Come on. He got one touch in the box. That's not because of him. That's because of the players around him. The Brunos of this world. The Rashford of this world. Those are the players that we should be criticizing. There was a kid on the United View channel, Xerxes, light-skinned. Xerxes was... I don't know what we're going to do with Xerxes, mate. I really don't. I would play Obi Martin on Thursday, 100%. But you know what? What's he going to do, Brian? Is he going to get the balls? Is he going to get the service? Is he, Brian? Honestly, is he? Is he better than Rasmus? I don't think so. We ain't proven yet. He's a kid. At the end of the day, and you know what are we going to do? We're just going to rely on a young player who's not going to get any football. He's not going to get any passes, not going to get any crosses. And that's the issue. We're blaming the wrong people here. We need to get rid of Rashford. We need to get rid of Bruno. Those are the players that are disappointing week in, week out. Those are the players who've thrown endless amounts of managers under the bus. And that is the problem. Absolutely, Chichi. Absolutely. Spot on there. Spot on. But all United tried, saw pattern and difference. I mean, Ericsson had no pattern. It's the same thing. We just played double pivot, Chichi. And we've been talking about double pivot for a long time. Absolutely. It's the same team. Ruben should put his own stamp on the team, put Ahmad levels of Bruno out. I know it's Chelsea, but we need to show some heart. Absolutely, David. Spot on, mate. Spot on. Thank you very much. Amorim can't be judged until he has his own players. The Erik ten Hags aren't it. Give Amorim a couple of transfer windows. It's going to take time, Almac. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. Hey, Sal. How you doing, LT? How you doing? Yesterday just proved that I was on the players. People kept blaming Ten Hag, which is fair, but we saw more. Absolutely, LT. This is what we've been saying for months. We've been saying this for months. It's multi-layered. The whole problems at the club are multi-layered. But no, it's just Ten Hag. It's Ten Hag only. It's Ten Hag. He's the problem. It wasn't just Ten Hag, guys. It wasn't just Ten Hag. It was, and there's a number of problems at that football club, fundamental issues at that football club that we're not getting right. And I'm angry. Because the reason I'm angry, right, is because we got Amorim coming in, right? And what we're going to do? We're going to play a double 10. We're going to play Garnacho and Rashford. What the hell are they going to do in a double 10? You know what I mean? What are we going to do? You know, is Rashford going to start creating all of a sudden? What's going to happen? I mean, that is what I'm worried about, guys. Big up, Tenzia. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. I wonder why Garner, I think he is ever in the right position to score. He is costing the team points. He should stop being selfish and create a striker. So should Rashford. So should Rashford. They're all the same. Garnacho's 20 years old, Tanzania. He's 20 years old. You can't just blame it on Garnacho. He needs to rest Garnacho. Garnacho shouldn't have been under pressure too much for Garnacho at the moment. We need to drift Garnacho at the side. He needs to have a little bit of a break. I would say that. But you got players there, Bruno and obviously Rashford, who are not doing the business. They're not performing for the football club. You know, and that is the thing. They're experienced players. People go, oh, but it's only one of two players. And, you know, they only have one. It only takes one of those players. One of those players. And when one of those players is your captain, and two of those players are your most experienced players, that's when it comes a problem. Good morning, Bath Time. How you doing, my friend? I'll be doing it. So I was really disappointed by so much of the performance yesterday. They didn't work hard enough. Absolutely. They don't work for each other, and we need the new room of framework, to be honest. Bath Time. Absolutely, bruv. That's a very good comment, because one thing I would say is getting close to the times where we have to rip it all up and start again. Rip it all up and start again. I'm not saying get rid of all the players. Some of those players are good. I think the defense is good. I think De Ligt is good. I think Licha is good. I think Mazraoui was fantastic. I think Casemiro has done well the last couple of games. I think Ugarte had a disappointing game yesterday, but you know what? He's new and we have to give him time. Xerxes just looks like a dud. He looks rubbish, if we're being honest, and he needs to improve as well. Good morning. How you doing, Makachukwu? How you doing? Good morning, dear. I love seeing Ahmed in the lineup. I mean, hopefully he gets back in the lineup pretty soon. Absolutely. I hope so. We have a player like Garnacho that plays well in games. It's understandable. He's still young, but Amorim going to give chances. Højlund tried to play at the mark tightly. We just need someone to create for him, David. We need someone to create for him. Absolutely. As a midfielder, Sal, if you look up and see Rasmus twerking into a defender, you can't play it into him. Bath time. Wingers can cross the ball. When you cross the ball, you create uncertainty in the box. We don't cross the ball. We don't get the ball nowhere near enough into Garnacho, into Rasmus Højlund. Absolutely no near to. I've seen a lot of football in my time, Bath time. I've seen Dwight York, Andy Cole, you name it. I've seen it live. Yeah, I've seen it. Right. And I've seen how they pass the ball to him. I've seen how they cross the ball to him. Beckham, Giggs, you know, those type of players. Right. I've seen it. We don't cross the ball. We run with our head down. We run into dark alleys, blind alleys, whatever you say. That's what we do. It's not Rasmus. It's not Rasmus. People were saying it. Roy Keane said it. You know, Gary Neville said it. The whole people said it. You know what I mean? That is the same problems. It doesn't matter if you have Cucurella up front, even Tony up front. It doesn't matter who you have up front. If you're not getting the ball, how the hell can you score as a striker? Have you seen faith in Xerxes? His strange signing. We need a goal scorer, and Xerxes admitted he's not. He isn't, but he's just too slow. Almac, you know when he got put through, he got put through there. He got put through, and he was slow. I've never seen a player that slow. My goodness, it's like Johnny Evans up front. Ruud van Nistelrooy must change the squad against Poak. The whole squad should be changed. Our bench must be playing. Yeah, I agree. I agree, David. Absolutely spot on. He misses a lot of chances and he needs to fix it. He does. But he's young. I just want a team that looks like they're Premier League footballers at the moment. Our level of fitness is shocking. We lost our second ball. We flat-footed, couldn't push it fast enough. It's terrible. We're not working as a team, mate. We look disjointed. We look like, you know what, we can't be bothered. We look like we didn't want to win the game. We're happy with a point. We look like content. That's what annoyed me. That's what upset me the most. Alvaro Fernandez is just a man of the match performance for Benfica. Every day he makes decisions, sell him, but it looks worse. We'll have to wait and see. This is the Premier League at the end of the day. We'll have to wait and see. Eltec, I don't know why what they don't just pick either Rashid or Garnacho. They're too similar, LT. They're too similar. And Ahmed on the right, because it's clear that Rashid and Ghana are not comfortable on the right. So why not sacrifice one? Absolutely, LT. Spot on. And this is the problem that we face. At the end of the day, play one or the other. Don't play both. They're too similar. And both, as you said, don't want to play on the right. So play Ahmed. Play Ahmed. In my opinion, you know what? I don't think we have the attacking lineup to win to win titles. I don't. Garnacho must let in his head. He's always got players free on the right. If he passes, maybe we'll have a better chance scoring. Our wingers only run with the ball. They're not looking for a play. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter if you have Gutierrez up front. It doesn't matter who you have up front. If you don't have the players, they're going to pass to you the ball. You know, this is the most selfish forwards I've seen in my life since. Absolutely, me too. They don't play as a team. Turns out, again, the club legends also pollute Man United that once a bench either Rash or Ghana. They start questioning the decisions to pin it on him. Ghana's 20 years old. Rashford hasn't performed for months. Rashford needs to be sold. And I'll tell you right now, he's one of the worst strikers I've ever seen in my time at Man United fan. One of the worst, right? in regards to inconsistency, moaning, miserable on the pitch, body language. One of the worst first team players I've ever seen at my football club. Absolutely. Xerxes should be coming on when Manu is driving the seat. He needs to improve, Tanzania. He needs to improve, and he needs to improve quickly. Absolutely, because you know what? We don't want any passengers in this team. We got too many passengers at the moment. The passengers in this team is just too much. We need to do better, guys. We need to do better. This is, we look disjointed. It's a bit like we haven't played with each other before. It seems like we never played. It looks like we never played. It looks like they never trained with each other before. That's what it looks like. It just looks like that. Like it's rubbish, and it needs to improve. I Sal, if they want to be selfish, at least as good as consistent as Mo Salah. Like Mo Salah's world class. Mo Salah's an elite player. Absolutely. You know what? One of the best players in the Premier League history, in my opinion. You know what? He's older as well. So do you think Garnacho will naturally improve his decision-making process or needs to be coached into him to pass shooters to Giggs? Shark Giggs chapter didn't seem to clueless at his age. They did, half time. They did. Giggs did. I was at the stadium. People used to boo Giggs bath time. People used to boo Giggs. Sharp was very selfish. Sharp was very selfish as well. Chadwick was a runner. Chadwick was a road runner bath time. What you have to understand is like you're speaking to someone who's witnessed these players in the flesh. I've seen them, right? You have to realize that more than 1 or 2 games. I'm talking about 500-600 games, right? And the thing is, right, is that they're young and Garnacho has to improve. I know that bath time he has to improve, but one thing we can't do is pin it all on him. There's a guy named Marcus Rashford there who's 27 years old now. And he's not crossing the ball. He's not getting the ball to the forwards. He's not creating. He's not on the creative side. Garnacho, we can leave him out. He's 20 years old. He doesn't have to play every game. We can leave him out. You know what I mean? We can leave him out on the bench. We should do that if I'm being honest, half time. I agree with that. But the problem what we're having is that, players like Rashford, players like Bruno are not doing enough on the creative side. They're not doing enough to supplement, to complement the striker. And that is the problem that we're having. This is why we have -3 goals and we have minus goals last season. Something needs to change. It does need to change quite evidently. But what I'm worried about is that when Ruben Amorim comes into the football team, he's going to play a formation that is going to require a lot more than just putting your head down and running. Breakfast done. I don't know what you're talking about, GK. I don't eat breakfast, my friend. I think we saw the attacking patterns of play and scoring good teams' goals, but every time things go a bit wrong, then our forwards and they revert back to their individual and patient selves. Yeah, they're not patient enough, LT. I agree with you. They're not patient enough and they're not composed enough. And someone like Bruno Fernandes, who is the captain of the football team, he's the one who should be showing the composure. He's the one who should be showing the calmness and the inspiration to get that team forward and carry on. But those players I named specifically exploded at Garnacho's age were taken out and got told to... no, they didn't explode at 20 years old. Chadwick didn't explode. Lee Sharp was sold by the time he was 25 half time. Giggs is the only one you can say he exploded. But why did Giggs explode? Because he crossed the ball. He ran with the ball. He worked hard. He used to tackle one side of the pitch, run to the other side of the pitch and cross or make a goal or whatever he used to do. He used to do that. But don't get it twisted. He used to get booed. He wasted a lot of possession. He used to get booed. I've seen that player since 16 years old play for Man United, all the way up to 40 on his last game. I was there. I've seen what he used to do, and I've seen him get booed. You know what I mean? But the thing is, what do you do with young players? What do you do with young players? Do you carry on playing them? Even Cristiano Ronaldo didn't play every game under Sir Alex Ferguson. You got to leave them out sometimes and then bring them in. Leave them out, nurture them, bring them in. And that's what you do. It improves them. At the moment, technically, Garnacho's not there. But you expect that from a young player. But you've got to mention the other one, Garnacho as well. This is a conversation. This is not nothing to do with agendas and stuff like that. Garnacho and Bruno are the 2 senior players in that football team. The 2 senior players in that football team were the worst players on that pitch, which is why Rashford got substituted, of course. MRM playing style system positions the field is going to change. Sporting on Friday night, those wingers play a system, pressing, running, creating space. They're going to have to work hard, David. Things are going to have to change big time. They're going to have to change. Benched a lot and played under against Poak. I would play a few of them, Brian. I would play a few of them if I'm being honest. How do you rate Ruud as the coach? Has he shown? Yeah, he's shown me a lot, Almac. I like his personality. I like the way he talks in the media. He can't do much in a short space of time, Almac. He can't. But one thing I would say is that a lot of those players are playing like, let me tell you what they're playing like. They're playing a bit like they know that he's not going to be there forever. They know that he's going to leave the club on the 11th of November. That's how they're playing. And I saw that yesterday. And that is what the disappointment thing is. Amorim can't use Rashford, not the kind of player. He can't. He can't. Absolutely, Chichi, he can't because they play a double 10. People know Amorim, he'll play a 2-2 and a 1. So he'll play a double 10. Can Rashford and Garnacho play in that number 10? We're going to have to find different players. Garnacho needs 10 men. We bought an established wingers. Why are we cursing Garnacho? Absolutely. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Spot on. Breakfast done. I don't know what you're talking about, Kazi. Kazi, maybe you should go on a diet. Don't have breakfast today. Giggs was getting booed around 2001. I'm not sure I heard anything before then. He was getting booed at 16, 17, 18 years old, Bath time. You weren't at the stadium. I was at the stadium. He was getting booed a lot. Quite embarrassingly. Quite embarrassingly. You know, I've been a fan of this club for 40 years. You know, I've seen a lot of Bath time. You know, you're talking to a guy, not 2001, 15 years before that, mate. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, I've seen him get booed a lot, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Lee Sharp got booed at the club. Luke Chadwick weren't good enough. So I don't know why we're bringing that into it. Ryan Giggs developed into a fantastic player, developed into a world-class player. Garnacho and Giggs, is it fair to compare the two? Is it fair to compare Ryan Giggs, who's a generational, one of the greatest, most, let's get it right here, the most, what is it? The player who's had the most accolades in Premier League history, Ryan Giggs. One of a million, right? We're talking about. It's unfair to do that with Garnacho. With Lee Sharp and with Luke Chadwick, that is true. That is right. I don't know what you guys are talking about this breakfast done. I don't know what you're on about. Anyone talk crap, getting blocked. I need to have a good break fast to stream like Sal in the morning. Mate, you need, you know what? I have the energy, mate. You know, I have the energy, bruv. At the end of the day, you know what? That is what it's about for me. It's all about the energy. I show more energy on a Monday morning, on a Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning than any Man United player did on that pitch. Any Man United player did on that pitch, my friends. Yesterday just proved to me that we really need to get rid of these senior players. Absolutely, LT. Can't play consistently and not good enough. We really need overall players. I agree, LT. LT, you're coming with the fire today, my friend. You're coming with the fire. Big up, LT. Giggs was class. You can't. It's unfair to compare anyone to Ryan Giggs. Really unfair. Really unfair. It's not fair to compare Giggs with Garnacho because of the difference in squad, but Garnacho needs to wise up. Absolutely, Bath time. I agree with that. And to be honest, bro, look, at the end of the day, he needs to improve his technique. He needs to look up. If I was to give Garnacho some advice, I would say this, right? He needs to look up. He needs to cross. He needs to work. He needs to like work on his technique a little bit. If I'm being honest, if I'm being totally down the middle and honest, guys, he needs to work on his technique a little bit. If I'm being honest. And that's what I would say about that, guys. So let me go into those player ratings, guys. I've got the player ratings for you. Let me have a look. Let's go into this, guys. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. I've got the player ratings. It's the balance for me. He misses so many good jobs. He's going to improve. He will improve. And he has to improve Bath time. He has to improve, my friend. He has to improve. Of course he does. You know what I mean? Let's have a look at this. Let's go into the actual player ratings then. Okay. So I've done a poll on my Twitter page about the player ratings, guys. So I'm going to give it to you like this. These are the player ratings for me from the starting 11 yesterday. And the results came out like this, if I'm being honest. For me, I'll go with the man of the match first. And for me, the man of the match was Mazraoui, guys. Man of the match was Mazraoui. He was the Mazraoui for me. He was the man of the match for me, guys. Absolutely. As Martinez did okay, 6.9 for me. I thought he did okay. De Ligt got a 7. I thought he was brilliant. A leader yesterday, absolute solid. I think Dalot was rubbish again. 5.6 in my opinion. 5.6. He was rubbish again. Onana 6.2. Did okay. I mean, could he be blamed for the goal? Did he get down too slowly? it did go through the legs. It did go through the legs of the player. If we're being honest, if we're being fair, it did go through the legs of him. Casemiro was solid, 6.8. Nothing, didn't put a foot wrong, so just above average. Ugarte at 6.6 was okay. 6.8, sorry, was okay. I didn't think he had a bad game as people were saying. I thought he was okay. I don't think he was that bad. Garnacho, 6.7, average. Bruno Fernandes, 6.6, poor. Again, average for his standards. Rashford, very poor, 5.7. And Højlund, 6.5. 6.5 for me. That is the ratings that came from my Twitter page, guys. That is what happens in what the results came as. It came as that. What are your thoughts? In regards to the substitutions, Ahmed Diallo got a 5.5 for me. Xerxes was poor, 4.6, and Lindelof 4.9. Didn't really have anything to prove, if we're being totally honest with ourselves. But that is the ratings I would give for the substitutes, guys, in regards to that. But you know what? Got to do a lot better. I'm tired of seeing 5s and 6s. I'm tired of seeing that. I'm not seeing enough 7s. I'm not seeing enough 8s. I'm not seeing enough of it, if I'm being honest with you guys. I need to see more. I need to see more 7s and 8s, guys. We're rarely seeing that these days, which is disappointing, of course. Disappointing, of course, guys, if I'm being honest. Let's have a look at this. Martinez sliding for no reason. No, then conceded the corner. They score from De Ligt and getting out fast enough. 0.5 taken off each time. Bath time, yeah, but this was results came from my Twitter page. I had 2,000 people who voted for it. Kazi, do you drive on the right side, on the left side, or in the center? In the air. Kazi, depends what side is free. Absolutely. In the UAE, Brian, in the UAE, absolutely. In the UAE, you drive what side is free. If you can drive in the UAE, you can drive anywhere. My goodness me, it's madness out here. It's madness when you're driving out here. But one thing about the UAE is that you can drive fast. It's not like England where you got bump, bump, hump, bump, hump, bump. You can't even drive in England. You can't really drive. You don't get the chance to drive in England. But guys, look, Thursday, we have PAOK. Is that how you say it? PAOK. PAOK. Of course, guys, we got them on Thursday in the Europa League. Another important game for Manchester United. Another chance for those players to underwhelm us again. But as the comment said earlier, I would play more young players. I would put some more young players in there, give some of those young players some experience, because it's pretty evident that a lot of these players are not good enough, guys. A lot of these players are not up to the standard that we require. And you know what we require? What standard do we require? We require a standard that is capable of winning major trophies, including challenging for the league title. At the moment, I can't see that happening at all. I can't see that happening at all, guys. Mazraoui was definitely man of the match. Absolutely. Has been consistent ever since he came. It should be standard benchmark of how the whole team should play. 5 or more players and guaranteed more. One thing I liked about Mazraoui, LT, is that when he's defending, right? When he's defending, he doesn't just dive into the challenge. He waits, and he goes in at the right time. He does, you know what? He controls the ball, he flicks. Everything about Mazraoui is absolutely fantastic. Buy of the season, guys. One of the purchases of the season. A brilliant player. A brilliant purchase. So happy with Mazraoui. Absolutely. And you know what? He's the only one, really, and with De Ligt as well, who've come into the football club and done absolutely fantastic. PAOK. Rename. Panathinaikos is a different football club, mate. Yeah, different football club. PAOK are basically... should be beatable, guys. They should be beatable. PAOK, absolutely. I think they're Cypriot, if I'm being honest with you. I'm being totally honest with you. I think they're Cypriot. So basically, yeah, they're the Greek team. I think they're Greek Cypriot team. Yeah, they're Greek Cypriot team, if I'm being honest. I think they are. Panathinaikos are 5th in the league. PAOK are 2nd. So they're doing quite well in that league. They're above AEK Athens and they're above Olympiakos. Panathinaikos 5th. Yeah, so you know what? It's going to be a tricky game. We need to be on our ball, but you know what? They have lost games. How could you lose to Chelsea? What? We didn't lose to Chelsea. Mission advance. What are you talking about, bruv? What are you talking about, bruv? We didn't lose to Chelsea. We drew with Chelsea. Absolutely, Bath time. Correct him. Mission advance. I watched the game now, and the Garnacho was frustrating. I'm not even a United fan, and what was bro doing? I feel like it's exhausting. The manager is sleeping on Garnacho. Yeah, but one thing I would point in the direction of is that when people feel the need to point out and get a 20-year-old and take the piss out of a 20-year-old, rather than Bruno and Garnacho and Rashford. That is what's a problem for me. You need to take out the players that are the most experienced players who are worse on the pitch. Why was Rashford substituted? Because he was worse than Garnacho. He was. I agree with Ruud van Nistelrooy. He was worse than Garnacho. That's why he was substituted. Bruno was awful, and they're older than him. You can take Garnacho at the side. Garnacho needs to improve his technical abilities. But one thing I would say is 20 years old. It's going to happen. You know, life isn't the same as everything else. You cannot compare people with other people. Ian Wright became a footballer at 24 years old, while some people are playing World Cups at 16. You can't compare every single person. You can't compare every player to the players of the past. Everyone's different. But one thing I would say is that, yes, he does need to improve. He does need to improve his game. He does need to improve his technical ability as well. I mean, the next game must win. You're absolutely a must win. We're 20, 21, 23 in that league. We need to win, guys. Brian, POAK is a Greek club. Yeah, Greek Cypriot. Mission advance. I drew at home to a club that never wins at Old Trafford is a loss. I felt like a loss, Mission advance. It felt like a loss, but it wasn't. Absolutely. Arsenal losing to who did they lose to at the weekend? I can't even remember the team that they lost against. You know what I mean? Arsenal losing to Bournemouth is a loss. The most worrying thing about the game is about how bad the team playing has been. It is that Lindelof comes on as a CDM. Embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Why does that happen half time? Why? Bring in young players. Bring in young players. Don't play players out of position. That's what I've been saying from the beginning, guys. Bring in some young players. Do you know what I mean? That's what they need to do at the end of the day. You know? I'd rather do that than play square pegs in round holes, guys. I'd rather do that than play square pegs in round holes, if I'm being honest with you. Square pegs in round holes. That's what it is. So just a reminder that... let me have a look at this. Excuse me. Yeah, Arsenal lost to Newcastle at the weekend, by the way. Mission advance. Ronaldo wasn't good in his first couple of seasons, 3 seasons. There was a time when we were thinking about loaning Ronaldo out. Can you believe it? The audacity. We were thinking about loaning Ronaldo out. Can you believe it? Get rid of Deadwood. We got more now. Absolutely. Well, I mean, looking at our attack, Rashford and Bruno obviously not good enough. Obviously not good enough. Yeah, they lost to Newcastle. Arsenal can't really talk at the moment. Fletcher Kleiner should be given enough minutes too. I agree. Bath time, absolute spot on. Garnacho is a good player, but it needs to be taught how to pass the ball. Absolutely, Amir. But Amir, what I would say is that who is the finished article at that age? No one is the finished article at that age. We have to give him, like, you know, cut him some slack a little bit. But one thing I would say is that it's down to the manager to get the best out of that player. And it's down to the manager to drop that player. You know, one thing I would say, how many goals has Garnacho scored this season? 7? It's more than anyone else. So where's Rashford? Where's Bruno? You know, well, what's going on with these players when Garnacho's scoring 7, 8 goals this season, you know? And then we're attacking the kid who scored the most amount of goals for us. We're not good enough, Sal. We are not going to win the league, Arsenal, but I am sure we will win it next. You're not going to win. I'll tell you what, Mission. One thing I would say is that if Man City get the punishment that they deserve to get, you stand a chance. We played all the tough games on paper in the Europa League, so we should be collecting maximum points and the rest of the games there. I'm glad also Ugarte is getting game time to get up to speed. Absolutely, LT. Spot on, my friend. You're on fire today, LT. Big up, big up. Good comments, my friend. Good comments. Bishop Van, Jamie Vardy cooks one club every month. Sal, you must be prepared for Jamie. Next Sunday, we got Jamie. Yeah, I am very, very aware of Jamie Vardy. I know what he does against big clubs, Mission Advance. He loves playing against the big clubs, doesn't he? He does that, doesn't he, Mission? He's annoying. He annoys me. And you know what? Don't be surprised if he puts in a shift next week. Garnacho scored 7 goals last year, and he took Gazzaccio on just auxiliary. He scored 7 already, half time. Improvement. Chow, if you're a manager, who's going to get rid of the current team? I mean, one thing I would say is that, are they going to be allowed to get rid of the current team, Chow? Are they going to be allowed to get rid of them? That is the thing that I want to know. Are these managers going to, is Amram going to walk in and say, look, I don't like Rashford, I don't like Onana? Is he going to do something like that? Is he going to be allowed to do something like that? That's one thing I would say. I hope Amarim will work with him. He is good for this club, my club. Absolutely, I hope so as well. Mitch Van, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea. How are we supposed to win? Look at Nottingham Forest, guys. Look at the way Nottingham Forest are showing us up. So Nottingham Forest are in the Champions League desperate, absolutely. And how comes? What is going on there? You know what I mean? What is going on there? Strange, but they will drift down the league as the season goes on. As we know, they will start going down. Their squad is going to be obviously weak and stuff, so they're going down, of course. Garnacho, you getting the number 7 soon? Absolutely. Hope so. Big up, Pearl. How you doing, my friend? Good afternoon from Singapore. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, Pearl. Good to see you. Hope everything is good with you. Did you enjoy the game? How did you feel? What were your feelings on the game, guys? I hope it was a good. Well, I mean, it probably wasn't. You know, it was a very disappointing draw. Chow, that's a big question mark. Let's wait and see what happens at Ruben comes. We have to wait and see. Chow, time is an education, isn't it? We're going to have to wait and see what happens. But one thing's for certain, that some of these players do not have the DNA to play for Manchester United. I'll say that openly. And some of them are 27 years old and 30, and they don't have the DNA to play for Man United. So some of those players do need to be moved on, if I'm being honest. Bathtime, according to BBC, Victor Gone has said he would prefer over clubs to United at the moment. Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Bathtime. We're not attractive at the moment. I mean, we're like basically a graveyard for players at the moment. You know, hopefully that improves down the time, but at the moment we're like a graveyard for these players. Mr. Sal, that's what we said in 2016. The Leicester City. Oh no, goodness me, we don't want Leicester. We don't want Jamie Vardy this Sunday, guys. None of Jamie Vardy ball again. Garnacho, you recede under Amorim. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. And one thing's for certain, and the most positive thing we can say is that, do you know one thing? Is that we can improve. We can improve. And Amorim coming in, I'm very excited about Amorim. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited. Of course, cautious as well, because I know that the players are still there. Those players are going to be still there. He's not going to get any players. Maybe in January he might get one, but I doubt it. I think the transfer window will be next summer. We'll be getting some more players in there, if I'm being honest with you. Chow, Lindelof, Maguire, Casemiro, Ericsson, Shaw, Anthony Mount. Don't want to mention Bruno and Rashid, just to be realistic, because we know they ain't going anywhere. This is the problem. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players, guys. People talking about a couple of players. 9 players. Højlund is waiting for their friends to play with him. Victor Kroger's new season. I hope so. I mean, I hope he might come. We need another striker. Felt we were better than we've been all season. Defensively played well. I agree. Casemiro and Mazza were solid. Mazza being man of the match. Is Mazza player of the season, Ian? Big up, Ian, by the way. The goal doesn't go 99 times out of 10, 100. He will never do it again. Ian, Mazza has been the signing of the season, hasn't he? What a signing he's been, guys. What a signing. You're going to watch Sporting V City tomorrow night, Sal? Maybe, yeah. I might catch it. I might do a watch along. Watch this space. Mission, you guys are crazy academy. Share, Lacey, Coney, Amash, Chido, and so many more. Dan Gore and all that. Give us at least one. You guys are a little bit. I know, mission advanced, and we're not playing them. This is what the disappointing thing is. We're not playing these youngsters. We're not giving them a chance. We much rather bring on Lindelof as a midfielder rather than bringing in an academy player in the midfield. It drives me mad, mission advanced. You spot on, though. Spot on. Paolo, decent result for Man U to get a draw, but very poor from Chelsea, but definitely not a bouncy performance from the home team. Absolutely spot on, Pearl. I agree. Definitely not a bouncy performance. I was talking a lot about bounce the last couple of days, of course. It was not a bouncy performance. It was definitely a deflated performance, guys. Absolutely. We bounced like a brick yesterday. Absolutely. And you know what? It was awful. Chelsea were there for the taking. I was very disappointed in Chelsea as well. At the end of the day, I was very disappointed in Chelsea as well. So, you know what? It was a game we could have won. Your club have 100 million times striker. That's crazy. I know, mate. It's mad. Mazza is amazing United player. DNA runs through his veins. We've got a signing we can say is having an impact in improving the team. Ian McDonald, spot on, my friend. Give credit where it's due that Mazraoui has been an absolute phenomenal signing, guys. A brilliant signing. I'm so proud of Mazraoui coming into the club. You know what I mean? And 12 million, my goodness, what a bargain. Madam, at least give a chance to Dan Gore, who is a crazy good mission advance. I admire your knowledge on Man United. That's an Arsenal fan there, guys. Talking the gospel. Absolutely. Big up, mission. I mean, we've seen improvement today, yesterday. Attacking football was played today. Progress is progress. I don't know if it was attacking football. I won't quite say that. But I mean, it's not as the worst performance in the season, but it wasn't brilliant. I felt that Chelsea were there for the taking. I really do. I felt they didn't play well, and we should have won that game yesterday. Disappointed, man. I've been disappointed all for the last few hours, guys. Really disappointed, angered by some of the performance in that football team. You know, it has to do better. Top button, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Ruben will sort out Ghana's poor decision making. They all need to sort it out. Absolutely. That's Amarim. I can't wait, top button. Lots of exciting things to come from obviously Amarim and stuff like that. Absolutely. Can't wait for it, my friend. Masri Saliba be like, no shit on social media and only results on pitch. Big up, Mission. Spot on, mate. And that is what's big about Masri. Absolutely. Get down to business, play the football. That is Man United DNA. He definitely has the DNA of Man United. I'm happy with our defense, but conceded with our midfield and attack. Midfield needs legs with Casemiro and Eriksen, whereas our attack is full of selfish wingers who don't supply strikers. That is the problem. Absolutely, Eltil. Absolutely, that is the problem. Xerxes is washed, bro. Xerxes never even entered the washing machine to be washed. he ain't even had the chance to be washed. He's not even, we ain't even put him in a washing basket yet, let alone washed. You know, I mean, that guy is awful. At the moment, I'm looking at him and saying that guy can't run. I saw that for through ball. If that was a Garnacho, he's long gone. He's all the way through and he's scoring a goal. Mad. So, do you think Saliba will leave us if we lose Premier League this season? Maybe. Real Madrid will come calling. I know that Real Madrid want him, don't they? They want him, but you know what? He might stay another season. He's still young. He might stay another season. But if Real Madrid come calling, you know that, you know where he's going to go, don't you? You know that he'll probably go to Real Madrid when they come calling. Thursday Moffa here shows him that, yeah, mate, he's too casual for my liking. He's too slow for my liking, guys. Too slow for my liking. I don't like the fact that he's too slow. I really don't. He needs to improve on that. He's been at Man United for 3 months now, so he needs to improve on his pace, obviously, and his fight. You know, it needs to be better. If I'm being honest, guys, it does need to be better. Spot on. We need a striker like Højlund. United don't serve him, and they're there who serve Havertz, and he's just like Xerxes. There you go, Mission Advance. Mission, you know, listen, guys, listen. Mission Advance is an Arsenal fan, and he's speaking the truth about Man United. There you go. There you go. He knows about Højlund. He knows he doesn't get the ball. He knows that, doesn't he? He knows that, doesn't he? He knows that he doesn't get the ball. It frustrates me. It angers me. You know, when people say, you know what, Højlund was rubbish. He was rubbish. My goodness, what do you expect the guy to do? He doesn't get any balls. If Dwight York was playing for Man United, if Andy Cole were playing for Man United and they got no balls, they wouldn't score goals. One thing I would put in the favor is that if I was Rasmus Højlund, I would shoot more and forget the rest. But he is starting to shoot more. He is starting to be more selfish. He definitely is. He definitely is starting to be more selfish, guys, which is a good thing. Frustrating, guys. Frustrating. I'm so frustrated. We should have won that game, guys. That's why I'm so frustrated. We should have won that game, guys. I'm crazy mad. Of course I am. You know what I mean? Because I felt like Chelsea were there for the taking yesterday. I felt they were there for the taking. I felt like if we just showed a bit of effort, a bit of heart, a bit of belief, we would have won that game yesterday, guys. I really do feel that. I feel that, guys. And I feel it. Because we need to move up that table. We're bloody 13th. 13th. It's November. We need to move up the table. Well done, Rude. You held the lines high. We'll never forget your passion. Absolutely, Amir. Big up Ruud van Nistelrooy. Big up Ruud van Nistelrooy. Garnacho is just like Joshua. Not lying. They both are 30-minute players. Could be. We'd have to wait and see. Mission Advance. We have to wait and see. Still young. Too young to say. Too young to say. One thing we will say about young players that they are inconsistent. Notoriously, young players are inconsistent, and we have to always remember that. But one thing I want to understand is this, right? I want to understand that the way Liverpool play, for example, right? They always seem to find that extra yard to win the game. Whether they're losing 1-0, they always find that extra little bit to win the game. Is it Mo Salah? Is it just Mo Salah? Or is it other parts of the game that they do, that they've learned under Jurgen Klopp? You know, that they always seem to win the game. They always seem to find a way, to win that game. Against a tough Brighton team as well. I really hope that the incoming manager is passionate as Ruud, the guy. I hope he's as passionate as me. I hope he is as passionate as me, Amir. I hope he is as passionate as me because I'm passionate. I'm passionate. No joking in this. I'm frustrated, guys. I'm so frustrated about result. You have no idea how frustrated I was yesterday night. So I had to go to bed. No match reaction. I went to bed. I thought, forget this. It's a long thing, as they say. It's a long thing. Your favorite Greece player, Sal? Not talking about the country, but the league. My favorite Greek player. Wow. Muzzy. No, that Muzzy is. It was Turkish. Who's a player who used to play for Leicester? There's another player who played in Greece, but there's a number of players that I like from Greece. There are. I'm trying to remember their names. I'm trying to think because there are a number. The ones that won the 2004 European Championships, of course, was brilliant. But I think the guy's name's Zacharakis. There's Zacharakis. He played for Leicester. I liked him as a player. I thought he was decent, if I'm being honest. Bassinas, is that the name? He was decent. I liked him as a player. They had some good players. I mean, when you think of players like Georgios Samaras, who I think Georgios Samaras, especially when he was at Celtic, I think he was a good player, good striker. I think he was a good player. I will also get pissed off when pundits say Højlund is not good enough and we're going to need a top striker. What utter bullshit. For years, our strikers have been on a graveyard shit. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Spot on, mate. You know what you're talking about, LT. Spot on. Rue's passion is amazing. Absolutely. Havertz and Xerxes are brothers, I feel. Oi, you know what? Mission Advance. You know what I would say, though? When Havertz and Timo Werner played in England, played in Germany, I was a big fan. I was a big fan of those. Because I used to do betting. And when I used to watch the betting, I used to always see Havertz's name. Havertz used to always be the one scoring the goals. He used to be always the one there, guys. Garnacho need to warm the bench for this performance. I think a lot of those players need to warm the bench, if we're being honest, guys. I think a lot of those players need to warm the bench. Rashford needs to warm the bench for a few weeks. Manuel is married to Arsenal. Man United is his girlfriend. Love it. Big up, Randy. How you doing, my friend? Long time no see, Randy. Hope you're doing well. How you feeling? Are you feeling? I know you're hurt, but are you feeling a little bit better, bro? I hope you're doing well. A bit of a striker, Rude is surely needed. How are we fixing this? It's going to take time, mate. You know what? One thing I'm worried about is when Ruben Amorim comes in. I'm really worried, top button. You know what? Because I hope that these players won't be able to play any system. I mean, if we're going by Bruno and Rashford and Garnacho, will those players have the capability to play in his system? That's what I'm a little bit concerned about, guys. There was a defender as well in the Fergie time. He was a good as well. I don't know. Fergie time. Was that Zacharakis? Wasn't that Zacharakis? Georgios Karagounis was good, but he was an attacking player, wasn't he? He was an attacking player, I think. Stelios Manolos. But, guys, the most famous Greek player in Premier League was Nikos Dabizas. He played for Newcastle. Defender, centre-back. I bet you didn't know I knew all those Greek players, did you? Mission Advance, if you provide service to your striker, obviously he will score at least once. If not scoring, that's when my bro is playing in Division 1 and not for his country. Big up, Randy. My heart is with you, bro. I'm with you, mate. It's good to see you, though. He didn't play much in the Premier League, though. Dabizas. Are you talking about Nikos Dabizas? That was during the Fergie time. Mission Advance. I think we need more creative wingers because we had enough goal coaches and wingers. Ahmed being only one killing our attacking play. We really need to balance that out. We need something. We need to have a style. It looks like one thing I would say about Man United right now, if I was going to sum it up, it would be like we're winging it at the moment. We're playing from memory. We're not playing with a style or aim, a goal, or what we're going to do. We don't know where we're going to pass the ball next. We like sort of guessing every time, indecisive. No assertiveness is in that side. That is what's disappointing for me, LT. But LT, love your comments, mate. Brilliant comments, man. Absolute brilliant comments. Absolutely. Guys, you know what? Passionate show. I'm always passionate, guys. I'm always passionate about my football club. I'm just winding guys up in the chat, by the way. I'm just winding you up. I'm showing a bit of passion, guys. I'm not all jokes and smiling and happy faces. When I'm disappointed about my football team, I'm disappointed about my football team. You know what? I'm angry about my football team, of course. So we have 2-digit injuries. That's crazy. Our backup players are also injured. Yeah. I mean, it shows you what an injury can do, though, isn't it, Mission Advance? It shows you what an injury can do to your football team. We had 60 last season. Amir will be a better 10 than a winger. I agree, Randy. Ahmad will be a better winger than a number 10. Not a better number 10 than a winger. I agree, mate. I think we should try him at number 10. I can't wait till Kobe Manu comes back and plays a number 10. I would like him to play the number 10. I just feel like the players like Rashford and Garnacho, they're too similar. We can't be playing these players again, you know what I mean, together. When Amorim comes in, he's going to play that formation with the 5, with the 2-2-1 kind of formation. So those two as the number 10, the double number 10, they can't be similar. It can't be Rashford and Garnacho. It needs to be different. You need to have something different in there. 60. Man United had 60 injuries altogether last season. 60, over 60. People forget that, you know, about what happened, you know, mitigating circumstances, not forgetting the off-field issues, etc., what happened, all that rubbish, what happened, of course, with Sancho, with all those players, of course. A lot happened last season. A lot happened. Let me just read this tweet, guys. Randy, Ahmed will better 10 than Winter. I agree. Absolutely. Should give Ruud the job. No. We can't go down that line. We have to see what Amorim is the best young manager in the game. We you know, I think tactically he's better. He's a better manager. Ruud is vibes. We have to be careful of that. We can't go down that road again. Maybe in the future, but not yet. Anthony most destroyed his career like Greenwood, but bro survived. I mean, Man United is a graveyard for players at the moment, Mission Advance, and it needs to improve. We've got a new manager coming in. Hopefully it will improve. Hopefully we'll get the best out of these players, because our team is not crap, Mission Advance. And the problem is they're playing like this crap. As I said earlier in the show, we're playing like we're just fulfilling our contractual obligation. We're not doing anything special. We're just going on that pitch and going through the motions. And that's what's disappointing for me. LT. We need more ball players, because I think we've been affected by counter-attacking football for too long. I agree. And these senior players are from which era, which is why we look poor playing from the back. I agree as well. Spot on. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer started that counter-attacking thing. It's really hard to get away from that. It's what Erik ten Hag tried to do. I mean, Ian, the only thing I'm disappointed is in when the Green Garnacho is that way we have to rely on him. There's no experience from players at the moment. It's ridiculous. The couple eyes on Nacho and Ahmed. Ian, spot on, mate. Spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. That comment deserves an explosion of the guys. Absolutely. Brilliant comment. Superb. And that is what we have to remember. We're relying too heavily on these young players when it's those senior players right there who should be doing the business for the football club. The Rashford, the bloody Brunos. They're the ones who should be taking the team forward, inspiring those players, and being the leaders that they should be. Okay, now we know the source of the problem is the player. There we go. Thank you very much. I rest my case. It's one of the sources. Absolutely one of the sources. The other source was the manager. Manager is not entirely exempt from blame. He did pick the wrong team a number of times, but the players have a huge part to play in it. And you know what? I'm not going to be accepting any of this when Amorim comes in. I don't want any bull crap happening no more. I'm tired of it, if I'm being honest. What's the difference between Martial and Xerxes? Martial can run. Martial can score goals as well. Guys, it's been a fabulous show. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't worry, it's just a commercial, but I am passionate. I love you all. Don't worry. At the end of the day, I'm just teasing if I upset anyone. But you know what? This is what I do. I'm passionate about the football club. I rant and rave. But you know what? I felt we could win the game yesterday. We dropped 2 points, in my opinion. I really do felt we dropped 2 points yesterday, and I'm tired. I'm upset about that, if I'm being honest. And you know what? We move on. We got the game on Thursday against the Proac, of course, and hopefully we win the game. Must win. They're not a strong team. Have to win. Should win our next 2 games, and we go from there, guys. Guys, much love to you. Thank you all for joining me. Don't forget to smash a like on the video on the way out, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new, guys. If you can do that, of course. Let's do that, guys. And don't forget, don't take it out on the wrong players, and don't criticize the young players too much, because we're Manchester United. We don't do that, guys. We've never done that in our history, so let's not do that. And guys, try and have a fantastic day. I'll be back later on for Chatterbox, 2 p.m. UK time. Take it easy and have a fabulous, fabulous day. I'm going to eat something. I think I've deserved it. Take it easy, guys. Peace.